are these people?
Biden has an
I'm ready for
influencer
this
army.
one.
This one's good.
Jesus.
Just because it has some video later that's going to be very choice. But so this is from Axios, which Axios is Axios. Like people should take that with a little bit of establishment
Morphine.
salt. Yeah, like
Controlled opposition.
Yes. Biden's digital strategy, an army of influencers. So President Biden's not yet official bid for re-election will lean on hundreds of social media influencers who will tout Biden's record and soon may have their own briefing room at the White House. Axios has learned. So they're setting up a streamer house. We're going to have
when you said who will tout Biden's record, I really needed you to bring up a 404 page not found real quick.
Yeah. Oh.
Bruh.
So, and the formatting on this article is also like, it could be AI deciding to have fun with this, but why it matters. The move aims to boost Biden's standing among young voters who are crucial to Democrat success in elections and potentially counter former President Trump's massive social media following if he's the GOP nominee in 2024. So Biden's digital strategy team will connect with influencers across the nations to target those who may not follow the White House or Democratic Party on social media. So everyone, that's a real wide berth there. Anyone not following the White House or Dem Party. Or have tuned out of mainstream media altogether. So 4 Biden digital staffers are focused on influencers, independent content creators. The staffers officially work for the White House, not Biden's campaign. Just to be clear, I love how they let some of that slip through on these articles. But reaching young and suburban voters is clearly a priority. Young voters ages 18-29 preferred Biden over Trump by a 26-point margin in 2020, and Democrats over Republicans by 28 points in the 2022 midterms. A measure of the importance Team Biden is placing on its digital strategy. Rob Flaherty, who leads the effort, has been named assistant to the president, the same rank as the White House communications director and press secretary. So
I need to troll Rob Flaherty in a song. Is what you're telling me.
equal.
Rob gets his own song on the next record. Love notes from Gitmo.
Equal rank as the secretary. So what they're saying, we're trying to reach young people, but also moms. Also moms who use different platforms to get information.
Aren't we all, buddy?
And climate activists and people whose main way of getting information is digital, said Jean O'Malley Dillon, White House Deputy Chief of Staff. So they're trying to get
some moms.
Gotta get those hot. They tell me there's hot moms in my area that are single. Says Jean O'Malley. Would you like to meet some of these unpaid, I want to make that very clear, unpaid independent content creators have been given access to Biden's White House. They include
Harry Jizzison.
Yeah. Harry Sisson, a 20-year-old NYU student who breaks down the day's news on the TikToks. Also, I want to put like an asterisk next to this unpaid bit. Right? I just want to make that very clear. So he's got what? 677.2K followers, 73.9 million likes. I want to see that on this video. If you can give me that 73.9 million likes, I'd appreciate that. Only following 330 people though. Shame on you. But here we go. Here's some of this guy's work. I know you'll appreciate seeing, like what we got to work with. So, me and my co-host Collin have covered this Clarence Thomas thing before. Let's see how he covers it.
Wow, the Republicans are just so damn corrupt.
That's how we.
Whoa!
That's how we
Down, Dino. Oh my god. Oh man!
Wow, the Republicans are just
this
so
kid is
damn
coming out with
corrupt.
both barrels.
Yeah, just right out the gate. You know,
Holy
Conservative
shit.
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has for years claimed income from a real estate company that hasn't existed since 2006. So the
No
question
way.
is, where is that money coming from? Because the company he's
wonder.
claiming it comes from doesn't exist. And we've also recently learned that Clarence Thomas has received some very lavish gifts from big Republican
Has he?
donors. I
Has
wonder
he?
if these two stories might be connected. But regardless, there clearly needs to be an investigation into Clarence Thomas, and he should resign from the Supreme Court right now.
I would like an investigation on who put Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. That's what I would like. Who
He
did
is
that?
not paid, but he is heavily compensated with
Yes.
methamphetamine.
Yes,
Because
the
holy
Sudafed
shit
that
balls.
Trump
That-
left.
Oh
you know?
man. Wow.
Yep.
That kid like kicks off at an 11 and just coasts at 11 the whole time.
I love how
Oh my God.
your literal shocked face was just the best. Like,
Wow.
you know, you were just like, oh my God.
Wow, the Republicans
you know?
are just so damn corrupt. Conservative Supreme Court Justice Clarence
like, you're
Oh,
like,
man.
oh, isn't that nice? So
Sometimes you see something that's so unnatural and so like just,
Wow,
yeah, that kid is just like coming out of his skin with excitement. It's like the first time I watched someone break their arm. I remember being a kid during a basketball game and someone fell and all of a sudden their arm came up and it was all limp and noodly and your brain just sends you the signal like that's not supposed to be that way.
Yep.
Like I get that same alarm bells going off when that kid started talking. The like fight or flight was like, get the fuck away. That's not a human. Like I hit the uncanny valley real quick with that dude.
Here's the next lady, right? So Vivian 2, a former trader who discusses financial topics in short clips on TikTok and Instagram. So
man.
I don't
know if I'm ready for this.
Oh, so it's your rich BFF, Vivian 2, right? Ex-Wall Streeter helping you get rich. Business at yourrichbff.com.
If she followed me, I'd be like, that's a bot. That's fake as shit. That's every weird random crypto account that follows me. Oh God.
In your 50s and 60s and panicking that you'll never have enough money to retire? You're wrong. I'm Vivian, your rich BFF, and your favorite Wall Street girlie who can give you the step-by-step to fast-track yourself to financial freedom. 1. Figure out how much you actually need. Use a retirement calculator to figure out how much you need in retirement versus how much time you have to get there versus how long you'll realistically live after retirement. 2, tackle your debt. Lingering debt payments can be a drag on your retirement. You might need to make some sacrifices here to prioritize your debt paydown and get your debt to income.
I love her first thing.
In your 50s and 60s and panicking that you'll never have enough money to retire? You're wrong. I'm Vivian, your...
You're wrong. You're wrong. You have enough money to retire. Just eat nothing and
just
live
think
off
about
air.
how long you're trying to live after you retire. how long do you plan on living? Like ballpark for me.
Yeah.
In your 50s and 60s.
No, next. Thank you. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. Let me turn off the noise.
Okay. You know what I gotta say? So far the influencers they're throwing at us for this next go round, I do not feel I felt threatened by the first kid on like an existential level, but I feel like his Twitter game is gonna be weak. Like I'm not threatened by that. I'm
just Colin's like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah.
And again, that was awfully weak sauce, if I'm being honest. Like that's who you're sending. Honestly, it's like, man, I'm sorry, Brooklyn Dad does better than that. Come on. the weird Eric Clapton looking fuck. That guy too.
What?
Oh, you're killing me with those tonight.
I'm sorry, bro.
I said, oh no, never apologize.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So Zoom in, a dedicated White House briefing space for influencers to meet in person or by remote would be unprecedented, and a sign that the traditional press briefing room no longer would be the administration's only messaging center. Here's the kickers. It would also give some influencers more consistent access to the president, or actually ask the White House, when are we going to get press briefing practices, said Sassone, who had 666,000 followers on TikTok. They were actually very responsive to it, he said, of administration officials' reaction to the suggestion by some of the 24 influencers, just 24, who attended a State of the Union watch party at the White House. So what a terrible party that would be. The administration is moving toward giving influencers their own briefing room in the White House. That's the takeaway. Zoom out. Besides White House invitations, the administration has given influencers opportunities for access to Biden when he goes on the road. At the Detroit Auto Show in September, officials invited Daniel Mack, who's 13.8 million followers, watch him ask drivers of nice cars what they do for a living, to ask Biden that question. Well, I'm married to Jill Biden, and I make sure we're making a lot more electric vehicles in America. America is a country I used to live in. Now I live in insanity. Like, Biden responded wearing aviator sunglasses and sitting in the driver's seat of a Cadillac Lyric, I guess. Lyric sounds better to me. yeah.
Lyric.
It just reminded me of
Cadillac Lyric.
The Cadillac Lycra. You know, the video has been seen 38 million times. How many times do you think that Let's Go Brandon at NASCAR probably did? Like, that's literally direct. At the same-sex marriage bill signing celebration at the White House December of last year, LGBTQ plus influencers were invited. None of them showed up, though. Like, I imagine. So what's next? The White House wants to work with the influencers of local audiences when Biden travels to their state, just as its regional team has built relationships with local media outlets. Reality check. Biden's following on social media don't compare with Trump's, especially on YouTube and Facebook, especially. I mean, I know I'm high, but like this is what it is wrote here. Biden's strategy is aimed more at platforms favored by younger voters, such as Instagram and TikTok. The intrigue. The administration is courting support on TikTok, even as it is called for the platform to be sold or else risk being banned in the U.S. because of its owner's ties to China's government. We'll get to that in a second. Thoughts so far?
Oh, influencers. I mean, what can we say that hasn't already been said? Again, so far, they seem awfully weak. It seems like even the best people they can drum up to try to like feign excitement for Joe Biden, they're awfully hollow, kind of cardboard cutout people anyway. That I don't feel like they're gonna stir up a whole lot. Like it's again a very obvious kind of attention grab for this one age group that, like, honestly, you're going to have just as much luck trying to sell Kamala on them. Like
yeah. I mean, they tried to do that too. They've shoved her on every kind of, she gets on the Breakfast Club, she gets on all that stuff, does terribly. They don't care.
Yep.
They just want eyeballs. So